Tucker Carlson put out a new episode this week dealing with one of the most important topics today: censorship of science, which is one of the main tools governments now use to enforce their narratives. He covered the media onslaught against presidential candidate Bobby Kennedy for the mortal sin of questioning vaccines, which earned Kennedy an extremist label and got him kicked off 2 major platforms so far. The problem is that science cannot exist with censorship, because the single purpose of science, its only value, is that it takes all comers, considers all hypotheses, yes, even the crazy ones like flat earthers. It fights them with facts and logic, not with censorship and intimidation. This openness is the only reason science has any value. To the extent it remains open, it is the battle-hardened outcome of centuries of open warfare between ideas, each with a fair shot at making its case. Science has, of course, come a long way, but it's critical to remember how we got here. It was not prestigious professors or government-funded labs moving us forward. No, every major step was some whack-job tinfoil crank who was ignored or even laughed at. As Francis Bacon put it in 1740, new science has never come from prestigious insiders. It has come from the skeptic, the tinkerer, the questioner. Science writer Bill Bryson wrote about the battles of today's major scientific advances in 2003. Every single one, from plate tectonics to evolution to particle physics, challenged the settled science of the day. Each one was launched by uncredentialed outsiders. Darwin, for example, was a dropout who went backpacking and liked bugs. Einstein was a patent clerk. And each uncredentialed outsider was fought tooth and nail by the scientific elite, who called them pernicious or even dangerous. This elite pushback was so strong that the outsiders could only win because the scientific method provided a fair fight. And of course, those crank job opinions today are the new settled science, waiting for the next crop of crank jobs to fix them. Stop that process and science stops. In fact, it goes backwards as governments take over. A famous example is from the Soviet Union, where Stalin's favorite agriculturalist, Lysenko, believed that freezing crops makes them yield more. The other professors knew this was bonkers, but they didn't want to get shot. And so Lysenkoism was implemented, of course, ending in famine. The lesson is, as soon as any given field censors one single opinion, it is no longer science, it is propaganda. Now, given that even credentialed skeptics have been demonstrably censored in vaccines, that field is demonstrably not a science. It should be disbelieved simply because it is being censored. And the onus is on them to prove it is open, to prove it encourages skeptics, even the uncredentialed or crazy ones. Of course, this is now true for a wide range of allegedly scientific fields, from climate change to psychology to gender. Any field that is censored is no longer a science. It instantly drops to gossip column level of credibility. Until they stop censoring, it would be foolish to believe any of them. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.